No, Mark Hughes, it's not on, but it is now. Welcome everyone to the live on Loose Lines on location. Mark Hughes joins us. Firstly, Hughes, welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Great to be here and on this magnificent raining evening, mate, in Kyabram. Sensational.
We were thinking about not going live because we wouldn't have been able to hear ourselves think. We're one person short. Firstly, Daniel, welcome.
Hello, Paul.
We are one person short. Kath McIntosh is coming, but seriously, 5 minutes ago, you couldn't see. I'll actually show you. So this is, we're at Kath McIntosh's beautiful place, and people would love to see it in its full glory. That's the stadium. That's actually American Ideal's yard, and he may have floated down the road with all the rain that came. He wouldn't have had to jump out. He would have floated out, Hughesy.
He would have done, mate. Yeah, the rain was spectacular, and it's just lying around in massive puddles now. So amazing scenes.
It is indeed. Mark, we're here at Llowalong Farms, which in conjunction with Woodlands Stud, you guys stand 2 stallions here. Great sponsors of mine, so I want to make sure I can give back. That's one of the ideas of doing it. Another reason, I've never done a live show with him. So we've done a lot of shows, but he's never actually been side by side. So that is one of the other upsides to it. But we want to be able to promote people's businesses, harness racing, and do it in a different light. So one of the reasons for coming here was that, but also to promote your stallions. But you've got a great association, and it's a long-running association with Llowalong Farm, Kath McIntosh, previously Northern Rivers Equine.
Yep.
This year, I think we just stick to the name now. Everyone knows the name, so we stick to Llowalong Farms, and it's going well.
Yeah, look, this is our 3rd season here, so for American Ideal, season number 3. Lather up back here for season number 2. So, look, the relationship's very successful. Everybody's seen the growth in the business here over the journey. The last 2 years has been spectacularly heading north. It's the go-to place now in Victoria for all your breeding needs. There's a lot of people breeding horses here now that haven't bred here before. They ship their mares in and they're staying, mate. And they're going to the yearling sales and getting great results at the yearling sales as well. And they're doing a Better's Delight filly for us this year at the yearling, or next year at the yearling sales as well. So look, it's a very, very successful relationship.
It is. I should say we're actually in the vet shed here. Technically, it's a vet shed. Come yearling sale times, it's a yearling sale shed. It's one of the main parts of it. There's a stallion barn, stallion collection barn, which is all quarantined off. That's what the fence is there. You can see there's a big high fence. Pretty much, it's unfortunate for me. It restricts you from being able to see the stallions and do a lot of video work because it is that high. But there's a reason for it. It's a complete quarantine so that the semen can be exported to New Zealand and frozen semen and the likes, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's all part of the situation with the shuttle stallions and the stallions on farm. It has to be quarantined perfectly. It has to roll in under the conditions of Aquis, the Australian Quarantine Inspection Service. So it's fit for export to New Zealand and fit for purpose locally as well, and fit for freezing down some of the stallions, the shuttle stallions. So those paddocks look super. Plenty of green grass, and the boys are, as always, looking terrific.
They are. American Ideal was pretty keen on the shower before because it was a little bit muggy and that. He's not as keen on this one though, is he?
No. He was out there just, like a pig in the proverbial, as they say. So, yeah, he's looking good for 20 years old. He
is indeed. I encourage anyone to get involved. Please send us through some messages. We've got the Facebook up this time so I can actually see the questions as well. How's your week been, Daniel?
Busy week. Yeah. Dogs last Thursday at Sandown, and it's an amazing place, Sandown, calling the dogs down there for the first time. It's not a soul in sight. It was just like being in a giant warehouse, but looks like we're going to have crowds back the next couple of weeks, so looking forward to getting back down there for the rest of the Cup Carnival.
So that is every Thursday night from now on?
Not tomorrow, but it's actually next Thursday is the shootout, so that's their 4-dog winner take all race, and then the following 2 Fridays, so the heats and the final of the Melbourne Cups on the Friday the 19th and the 26th.
You're a harness racing purist. Do you love the dogs?
Well, I have to say it's been a real joy to be involved in it, and it's a thrill to be able to call this particular race, the one I'm going to call. But yeah, loving the opportunity. But my heart's always been trots, but really loving the opportunity in the dogs, and went to the trots yesterday at Yarra Valley, and again went to the races where there should have been a massive crowd and not one person on track. So, but hopefully I'll get to call a race with people there soon.
I'm actually doing Yarra Glen tomorrow for the Yarra Glen Cup, Trotters and Pacers Cup, which flies under the radar because it's a Thursday. But reality, normally it's Oaks Day, but there'll be no crowds there, and everyone's going to be tuning in. They're going to go, why is this on a Thursday? But being Oaks Day, it was huge crowds. I've been there the last 2 years, so I did some freelance stuff 2 years ago, and then last year some stuff for Harness Racing Victoria, and it's an amazing place. The money these places must be losing at the minute, Hughes. We've got to make sure we get out to them when we can get back to racing, isn't it?
Yeah, look, absolutely. We have to get around these places, get around the clubs, get around the ones that, have been through, have been in lockdown and had a lot of their income obviously not coming in the door. So, and I think we've seen that being Melbourne-based. I think everybody just got off the chain last week, and everyone's going hard now. So I think November is just going to be a massive, for those of us that live in metropolitan Melbourne, November's just going to be a massive catch-up month, I think. So people getting together and catching up over a few frothies and going out for dinner, and it's just got that feel about it, November.
I went to Cranbourne. Well, I do the Greyhounds live stream, and I went to Cranbourne on the Friday, which was the first official day that everyone was allowed back out.
Yep.
Saw two crashes, one crash and one nasty bingle, very nasty bingle. Brooke Ennis rocks up about an hour later. Clearly, people have forgotten how to drive. She's seen two, like the crashes. I mean, you talk about businesses who are going broke. The Smash Repair blokes, they'd be loving this all of a sudden. They're all back up and going.
No one's been out, so yeah, they probably were really struggling, that's for sure.
It's been hard in Melbourne. It's been probably tricky from a Woodlands point of view for you to get out and about. How have you found the experience? Yeah,
look, the last 21 months has been bizarre. Is probably the word. Unique. Massive challenge for our business and the way we run it out of Australia. I was literally running the business off the kitchen table last year at one point because my family were working out of home as well, partner, kids at university, all that sort of thing. So it was a challenge. And for those that know me, I spend a lot of time away from home on the road and obviously in New Zealand. So yeah, mate, it's been a very unique challenge. Absolutely.
It has indeed. Kath is coming here. Please, anyone wants to get involved, by all means, fire through as many questions as you want to either Hughesy, and we will talk about the New Zealand Stallions. But the job that Woodlands are doing in the breeding scene the last 5-6 years has been enormous. I mean, a lot of people turn around and say, I'll sit back at Bettor's Delight. But your roster this year is sensational. Not huge numbers, but you just have to be wrapped within the roster that you got. Almost all full books.
Yeah, look, I think the thing for us and what we've done over the journey, and Andrew and Charlie and now Paul and Mary, is that it's based around quality, not quantity. We want to pick off, we want stallions off the top shelf, not B, C, D graders. So we've gone down the path of doing that. Look, we've been blessed with the longevity of American Ideal 20, Bettor's Delight 23. But for us, it's quality, not quantity. And we want to offer breeders in Australia and New Zealand the best horses in the world, size, and the best size in the world reside in North America, mate.
Yep, and you say that, Seaside's hit North America absolutely running down by the Seaside. Unfortunately, had a bout of colic when he got over here, which is, it's not uncommon for stallions, it's just very unfortunate for him, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's very unfortunate. Anyone that's been in the business knows that colic can, send a horse southwards very, very quickly. He had surgery in quarantine back in August. He's recovered. He's been back in the shed. We started collecting him a fortnight ago. He's already got close to 10 to 12 pregnancies in Australia in his first 2 or 3 collects. So he's well and truly on the way. Seaman's terrific, and he's a leading 2-year-old sire in North America by 600,000, beaten up Treacherous, Mickey, Lou, who's on our roster, American Ideal. They're all in the, his impact has been immediate.
Yeah, and that's key though. What you said, you already got some of them in files, which is great because there'll be a lot of people questioning it. He's got a good book. You can come in anytime you like. I'm not going to switch your camera off for you, and as long as you can get into there, the Cheshire Cat, or late as always. Welcome, Kath McIntosh.
No worries, thanks, Paul.
Good, nice hospitality. At least you turned off the noise for 5 minutes for us.
Oh, wasn't that a downpour? It's mad.
We actually said that's one of the reasons that you were late. This is amazing, this place. I was here a couple of weeks ago doing some filming for another gentleman that's here, and it was just full on again tonight. It's a crazy place. It's so busy.
Yeah, but it's great. We love it.
You do love it, don't you?
It is, yeah. We've had all sorts of stuff today, and from all our routine things to all the weird and wonderful stuff. So yeah, it's great.
Last week when I was here, and I seriously had to do filming for a gentleman that employed me to come here and do it. Did an embryo flush. I actually got to see the embryo before it went into the horse, and at the same time, the embryo flush from the year before was actually being born out in a paddock, and Daniel actually met the royalty. It was.
I did.
Yeah. So that's her just there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, good job.
So,
yeah.
But it's just so full on. It's such a unique thing.
Yeah, that was
actually
a huge day, and yeah, it was a pretty awesome day too. Like, it doesn't always go well like that. We certainly have. It's a roller coaster ride, and we certainly we had that this afternoon. We had a mare brought in that was aborting 3 to 4 weeks before her due date. So there's not always a happy outcome, but that's the reality of breeding and horses, and but. It's a roller coaster ride, and we love it, and there's always something new every day.
I just found that one incredible because you saw the next model, and then the previous models out there.
And that's been uncanny this year in that we've had a number of foals, like we've either bred the mare or flushed the mare the day that her embryo from the year before has arrived. Like, it's so uncanny, yeah. The
other thing that's uncanny is daytime foals, because that was 12 o'clock or just after.
We had another one at 3 o'clock this afternoon as well.
Well, you had one at 11 o'clock that day.
Yeah.
We were still down there when the other mare was foaling. So, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it was just all systems.
Yeah, it's always nice when they foal in the day for us, that's for sure.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's easy to do things by daylight than it is in the dark. And, if there's problems, we've got every hand on deck, and, certainly make a few phone calls and have another couple of vets here, if I need them during the night. But, during the day, everyone's here, so we've got everything. We can do everything.
Yeah, and it's huge. I was saying to Mark before, like Woodlands been here with you from day dot. I think day dot. Am I right? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
3 seasons.
Yeah. So, and it just keeps growing and growing. This place, you must be a little bit in awe about how big it gets.
Yeah, it's pretty full on, and it's quite amazing how much it's really come together. But it's a pretty good relationship we have, and it's a big team effort, and we really enjoy the relationship we have with Woodlands, and it's very successful.
I actually flew a drone, and this is not going to be the cut up version. I just very quickly knocked this one up together, but it just shows people how big the property is.
Where's the rain?
No, it was a beautiful...
Not live?
Well, actually, it wasn't a beautiful day that day. You can't tell, but it was extremely windy, but it was lovely weather, I must say, that day, and it really showcased the place. But I could come back in another week. It's going to be greener than what it was then after tonight, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
So, and a full shed. This is the shed where we are standing in right now. The stallion shed was just to the side. You've got the walker. You've got yards for your mares. You also keep them in boxes. You fold them down in these lots of paddocks up here, but it's all very, very central to where you are, isn't it?
Yeah, it all works pretty effectively, and when you've got mares and foals coming in, and you don't want to be, as it is, we have to chase around the car park a bit from time to time, but you want everything fairly central and easy, minimises things going wrong, and it just all flows and we get our work done.
Yep, and you've got another farm. This is nearly finished. I'll actually finish it.
So this is the farm where the clinic is, and which is on 80 acres, and then this is the farm 10 minutes out the road, which is 400 acres out there. So we crop it and have our mares out there too. So all the mares winter out there, so they do terrific over the winter months because it's slightly sandy soil. So even with a lot of rain, they're never bogged down in mud. Whereas this place does get a bit wetter here. So we do all our hay, so we're pretty self-sufficient. All our hay's done off here. Crops, and then all the dry mares are out there, and we scan them out there as well.
And there's a couple of paddocks there that aren't yours, but a fair whack of what you can see there is actually yours, and a lot of it is in crop.
Yeah, and still under a lot of development as well. Yeah.
It's a work in progress. You've got to build a couple of sheds. Megan wants a shed out there, remember?
Yeah, we do need a bit more room, and probably more than 2 crushers out there for the volume of horses. So I'm all about efficiency, and
and doing it that way. Stallion wise, 7 on the books here now.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
You enjoy that side of it?
Yeah, love it. Yeah, the boys have got just sensational quality. They're all very well mannered. They're good to work with. It's just terrific. And the foals. So last year we had Lather Up, Soho, Tribeca, and Poster Boy. They were all first season sires. So now we're seeing their foals arrive on farm, and it's all hanging out for the first one. I'm harassing Mark, when's the first Lather Up being born? And so it's really exciting to see them. Sorry.
You've got to turn your phone off. Is there a Lather Up in Australia?
Yeah, no, there's a few, mate. Plenty.
Is,
Queensland, WA, Victoria, Tassie. We've got some on farm back in New Zealand as well.
Yeah, I saw those through the feed the other day.
They're up and about, and there was a stunning one born in Queensland about last week, which we posted. Unbelievably looking foal colt, actually spit of his father. Yeah. So they're up and about.
Yeah,
Yep.
and he's a dude, so yeah.
Yeah, and there's a mare out there that's waxed up tonight. That'll be our first lather up to be born on farm. So hopefully in the next 24 hours we'll have something arrive.
When I was setting up here, I was torn about going down that end, but it's a little bit lighter this end, so I thought no, I won't. But if she foals while we're doing this,
yeah, you won't be happy.
we won't be happy at all. Nick Hipper, is Vic Bred Pure having an impact again this season? Two of the locally bred stallions at Llowalong Farms. Does that make sense? Is
it Vic Bred Pure bonus system?
Yep. Is it having an impact, do you think, on your stallions?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely last year, there's greater acceptance of the Australian bred stallions. I think we're fortunate we've got really good quality Australian bred stallions, like incredible pedigrees, top family lines. But yeah, I definitely think, that $12,000 bonus is having an impact. I mean, even if they go to the sales, for people buying, it makes those horses commercial now. There's that bit extra in the kitty when they do have a win. So, if you buy something for $20,000 and you win your first race and get a $12,000 bonus, then effectively you're paid for the horse. So hopefully that will have an impact on the yearling prices later on too. All our Soho and Poster Boy were first season last year, both had bred just shy of 130 mares. And I think in the past, that sort of thing wouldn't have happened for a Australian bred stallion.
Yep.
And then this year, they're both over 100 bookings as well. I think Poster Boy is nearly 140, so his book is getting close to being full. That does include numbers to New Zealand too. So, I definitely think the Vic Bred Pure bonus has been great for our Australian horses.
Are breeding numbers from both of you looking okay this season compared to last? Like I know last season was the first season I think we had cleared 5,000. Is that right? Am I right on that figure?
Yeah, that's between both countries.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, last year there were record numbers in Australia compared to the previous decade that had arrested some decline. For us, we've bred more mares this year so far than last year on less collect days. If everyone understands what I'm talking about.
This is hard to understand, but yeah.
These boys in New Zealand started later than last year, so effectively for us our numbers are up. A stallion like American Ideal, we did his numbers on Monday. He's bred more mares in both countries this year than he had at this time last year on less collects.
Yeah.
So Lather Up's the same. I guess Kath can comment about hers, but our New Zealand boys are look, we bred 55 mares out of New Zealand on Monday here from New Zealand alone. So, yeah.
And yours, similar?
Yeah, and I think, it's good seasons. There's plenty of grass around. Agriculture's good. So, there's a bit of money around to spend on stallion services. So
I might get in trouble from Holly, but you're very close with Tribeca to having 100 because it was his birthday.
Yeah,
I think it was his birthday, so there's a birthday special. It was put on Twitter, but it was on Facebook as well. And if you were the 100th person to book, you'd get a special discounted rate.
Yeah, I think we've kicked over that now. I'm not sure who got it, but it's, definitely kicked over that.
You've got to bring something. You can't just be late. Hey,
who was the winner, mate? Get on it.
Watching, he won't want me just to go easy on you. So it has passed.
Yeah.
Well, we'd say it hasn't, and people keep booking in, and they can hope. And Holly just keeps saying, "No, you're number 98," so they bring it all around, and just let it keep going that way. Just let it keep building. So it'll work there. 5,000 plus services in Australia last season, so it was in Australia. Yeah, so
that's called marketing 101, Paul. We've got 99 bookings, so let's get to 100.
Yeah. Just keep going. The prize doesn't go off.
Everyone's a winner, mate. It's cool.
Doesn't go off. It's good that we've got President on. Both you guys are very active in Harness Breeders Victoria. You both enjoy, I suppose, growing the industry and making the industry prosper, and I reckon that cat's going to launch itself and jump on you two at some stage. But you both are very keen.
Yeah. Well, we're I think the committee's had a lot to deal with in the last 12 months. Just different things that have been put forward by various bodies, different challenges the industry has had. Victoria, I think, has been really progressive. Like HRV has been very progressive in promoting the breeding industry and growing it. And then, with our educational type series with the Breed to Succeed, that's been very popular. And obviously, we didn't get to have the forums like we were going to have, but this 2022 will be a different year and potentially be expanded upon even further. And, there's a lot of other things in the pipeline that the committee wants to do. And, everyone's very keen and very active to promote breeding in Victoria and also Greater Australia as well.
Yeah, I think so. And I think you'll find that you've got a committee there where everybody's on the same page. So everybody's driven by, changing things up. I think maybe 3 or 4 years ago at that level, things were a bit stale. It was easy to go down the same path and, have the same ideas. But now people have got a little bit more innovative. I've got the connection with both sides of the ditch, so I brought some New Zealand stuff to the table. Kath's taken to the next step with education, all those videos you've done. You've got a very active president and committee who are in touch with Harness Racing Victoria on a regular basis. And, there were things this year where between us, we offered up free services to, to world-class stallions to people, that they would never have the opportunity to do. So year on year, that sort of committee, the growth and the growth and the expertise and the love that's gone in from the committee has been first class.
Thank God she didn't hit the end button. Sure, I have one of those. At home. The relationship with New Zealand, and you answered this one, Kath. It's important for the industry, I think, from a breeding point of view. Look, I do a lot of, I can be talking from myself in a way, but it's important, I think, that we try and grow with our nearest neighbours as much as we can and try and increase their product as well.
Yeah, certainly New Zealand have a lot of their own challenges at the moment, and there's a lot to be gained by the two countries working together and pulling each other along. And, there's a quality product coming out of both countries. It's... He's having a play.
He's having a play in the water, American Ideal. Yeah. Just might be worth a look.
we got him. You can keep talking, Kath. It's okay. He's enjoying the mud. Sorry about that.
There you go. You're better off looking at him than us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll actually...
certainly with the exception of Kath, anyway.
But it is important, I think, to continue to do that. He's actually walked off on me on my screen, so there he is. He's making life a bit tricky, but I suppose I'm not actually in the camera. But I enjoy what the New Zealanders do, the passion and all the rest, and it's important that we can continue to grow both sides, isn't it?
Yeah, I think... both countries can learn a lot from each other, and there's a lot to be gained by working together. It's just a no-brainer. I mean, we share so many other things in common, and so many horses go backwards and forwards across from New Zealand to Australia. So, I think if we keep growing that into the future, then everyone's a winner.
Do you just get frustrated? I don't know, but I know the answer to this is yes. But do you just, get frustrated sometimes with some of the things that people outside of the breeding industries try to throw up at you to make it harder to breed and harder to... Don't grin too much, you're not on camera, so it's okay. But do you get frustrated by it?
Yeah, I think, everyone's entitled to their opinion, aren't they, and ideas and things like that. And as long as everyone's at the table to have to consult about different ideas and different things that are put forward, then, I'm sure it's to the betterment of the industry. And there's a lot of people, that have a lot of experience and knowledge in the breeding industry that can contribute a lot to what happens in Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got one cherry blossom, and he's decided he's going to hide behind it. He's doing a good job. He really is. He's a pleasure to work with, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's just got the best temperament. Yeah, he's just real relaxed, and he has there's a big bare patch out in the paddock where he always has that's where he rolls all the time. He has he'll come and have his feed, and then he'll go and have a roll, and then he loves to play in the water as well. That's it.
It's a creature of habit. So he might actually leave some wet trackers from his breeds this season if he's getting through the water that good. So keep an eye out.
He's loving it out there in the puddles, just kicking the water around. Yeah.
David McFadden is watching from hospital bed after a knee replacement, so there's no pressure. What's your best at Yarra Valley? I'll work on that one later, Dave. That's fine. Woodlands and Llowalong. This is from Nick Hooper. Stuck by their promise to provide free services to... Oh, yeah, that's right. So what he's saying there was with the harness breed to succeed. Free service fee to American Ideal, the duck out there, and also Pastor Stephen. So you guys really stuck to it. That's how much passion you've got, because he stands for 12,000. Am I right? And 6,500.
5,500.
5,500. So I think they're huge, huge incentives. One thing I like, if I put anything up with Breed to Succeed or I reshare it, the same people come back. They don't watch everything that I do, but there's a lot of people that just love that show. And they just keep coming back. You see their names popping up and them going from there. And I think that's sort of really, really key. Right, New Zealand Cup. We were talking. he was reminiscing about trying to get over there because this is his normal time to go away. I've got to mention Cam Bray because he wanted his name mentioned. I actually cut him off the New Zealand show last week, and he wasn't happy. He actually got cut, and he's not happy. So Nigel's got more pull than what Cam has at the minute, but huge amount of racing right at the minute. But they've got their own challenges over there as well with COVID, haven't they?
Yeah, look, they got challenges with COVID, and obviously that great meeting at Kaikoura that's been there on the coast there forever in the South Island was transferred to Addington on Monday. There were 16 races, and now the Cup's obviously on next Tuesday and show day as well, but there's limited people on track. So, yeah, they've got a lot of challenges over there with the metrics round next week, but also some other challenges going forward, particularly Auckland and that sort of thing. But I think they've got the right sort of people in positions of power now in New Zealand to make the necessary changes going forward. So, and people with experience as well. So, I'm pretty confident they can turn things around. They've
actually moved their thoroughbred sale, Kath, today. They actually moved it to March over there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because of the worry about being locked down with Auckland, that they could get locked down at any time. But I believe, at the minute anyway, the harness one's not moving because their belief is they'll do it like last year, pretty much online and that way. So yeah.
Hopefully we can get over there.
There's three of us. You want to come?
Yeah.
Why not?
There's three of us.
Might as well get on the bandwagon, mate.
Two of us got there last year. Someone missed out, but two of us got there, and thank goodness we did, eh?
Yeah, look, we were blessed back in May. We got the window opened and we just got on the plane and went, mate, and stayed for a week. And
I didn't get a week. I got 4 days, but I just want to get back.
It's just like getting out of Dodge, but the window opened, and it's like this year. Like, I was blessed to go to Darwin in August. The window opened, mate. I went to the Darwin Cup. So it's like, mate, as soon as the window's open, you got to go.
Kaikoura, have you been there?
No, it's one thing I've never done. I'd love to go to it. Unfortunately, for the last, it falls right in the middle of the breeding season. So, but that might be a nice little trip to, work towards going to next year instead of maybe New Zealand Cup week. Just do that meeting. So, yeah.
It's a funny thing. Nigel Armstrong was saying to me that traditionally I think they race it over 2 days and about an 8 and a 6 race program, but they don't get really big fields.
No.
But they had a 16 race program the other day, and the fields were huge, and the quality of the horses.
Yeah.
But they don't want to take away from that romance. They want people to be able to still go there. I don't know if you've ever seen it, Kath, but apparently you drive through a tunnel. Is that right? You drive through a...
Yeah, drive through a tunnel to get there and that sort of thing. But the Sunday meeting and the Cup Day's on the Monday, but everybody parks up their vans and caravans in the middle of the track. It's right beside the ocean. It's just spectacular.
Yeah, Grant was blown away. He said you go through this tunnel and it's just like, wow. And it's just ocean and... Yeah, and they got... It looks like they just got a wooden hickory fence. This cat's going to have more starring roles than mine, and mine is not as bad as that.
It's got 9 lives, yeah.
But it's just got a little wire fence around it, hasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Like the only race there, obviously that meeting twice a year. So yeah.
New Zealand Cup this week. Woodlands will have a big hand to play, hopefully.
Yeah, look, copy that. Who was bred and raised on the farm. Be one of the top 3 horses. He's drawn towards the outside of the front, I think, on the front line, so that'll suit. Look, he'll be there. It'd be just raw emotion for us if we bred a Cup winner, and particularly looking at his father out in the paddock here as well. That'd just be a great result for his father, who's now, as I said, you'd be 455 million in progeny earnings now. But for us, that'd be the icing on the cake, just from the farm's point of view. To actually breed a New Zealand Cup winner.
We've got. Were you looking at the form?
I was just trying to find it, but it's not come. The New Zealand Cup field's not coming up on my phone. So
the draw was done.
It was. Yeah.
They didn't have the audio. They're not the only ones that have issues that way. I can attest to no audio from time to time. It's big. It's just going to be a very different week. I know, talking to everybody you talk to, they're just gutted over there at the minute, just the way it's all playing out. But we've had it for 2 years.
Yeah, we have. So, at least we've got Melbourne Cup week off the ground. Look, New Zealand Cup's one of those great weeks. I've done, I dare say, probably 15. I did a lot way back when with the boys. You do, Tuesday, Cup Day, Wednesday, Riccarton, Thursday, Ashburton, Friday, Show Day, Thursday's New Zealand Cup Galloping Cup Day. When you catch a plane back to Melbourne, you need about a fortnight off. because it's a little bit of a fill-up. So it's just one of those great events, and I encourage any Australians that hopefully going forward this time next year, if they get the opportunity to go, get on the plane and go. It is easily the best harness racing day in the Southern Hemisphere.
They were waxing lyrically just before about Melbourne. Then they started talking about Olympic Park and the greyhounds. These two have been having and everything. Hughes, he says he needs a week to recover after all of it. So he's looking forward. We're hopefully going to get up to Wagga very shortly, him and I. But I reckon I'll be driving. I reckon he's going to love being with me because he'll just sit back in the passenger seat and go to sleep. Won't have to worry about it. He has got it all sorted. Right, Breeders' Crown is starting this week in Victoria. It's huge. Woodlands are actually going to have a runner at Bendigo.
Yeah, we shipped in our filly Life's a Beach on middle of last week, week before, to Andy Kath and Kate. She's drawn 2 in a heat on Friday night up against Ladies in Red. So we know Ladies in Red's very different gravy, but the 3-year-old fillies have got enormous amount of depth in them this year, both here and interstate. I haven't seen a crop like it for quite a number of years, but we shipped her with the belief that she can make the final. She's got some big scalps on her name, on her locker in New Zealand, and she won't be out of place here.
Kat's walking off with a microphone.
Yeah, Kat's stolen the show here, mate.
I don't know if that was caught on camera or not, but I've never seen that. So it'll be funny if it starts going. It'll be all fried. How'd you find the fields at Bendigo?
Yeah, look, amazing races, like really top class fields for all of the heats on Friday. There you got the fillies. The fillies probably dominate a little bit more than the boys, but yeah, great racing there, and looking forward to watching all of the heats. But obviously, you know, Ladies in Red's been the pin-up one for the last season and a half, I suppose, and I guess this could be one of her bigger tests against, you know, some more mature horses that she's racing against. So I think it's going to be a great series.
It is, and it's good. These are key. It's going to be key to the end of the year, and it falls now. And interesting from you guys' point of view. One, you can't probably go. I'd say you'll definitely struggle to go to a lot of them. But the change of season has really changed things up, and it's made really good racing, I think, now off the back of Redwood Carnival last week. But leading forward to the Breeders' Crown, and then you've got the sires coming up. It's going to be a great end to the season, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly in this state. You know, Breeders' Crown the next fortnight, and then obviously you're all into your Vic Breds heading into Christmas, and they race those finals Christmas and New Year's Eve from memory. So yeah, harness racing in this state, there's a real big fill up for you know, the age, the 2, 3 and 4 year olds. Off
the top, like, this is just a random question, but could it help the breeding? Because if you get a Breeders' Crown winner, or especially if you get a Vic Bred winner, say Lauriston Park, if they have another poster boy come through that they might stand at stud, is it the sort of thing that could really stimulate the breeding, especially late in the season now?
That's an interesting question. I guess we'll know more about that, the role that plays, probably maybe in about 3 or 4 seasons' time, when we sit back and look at January figures. The reality for us, probably for the shuttle horse, it mightn't make any difference because they're pretty much bags packed by Australia Day and gone. Whereas for the local horses, they might roll on to the end of January, maybe possibly into the first week in February, depending on the farm and what they want to do. I think that's a really interesting question, but I guess it's like everything, until we really have chow down on what the season has done, and we probably need 3 seasons at least to work out whether that has made any sort of difference at all.
And the New Zealanders, they're coming on board next year as well. Well, technically this year, but they'll start this. They'll have the same full season next season with ours. So It's going to make for a very congested time. There's already been a few harsh words spoken about when races should or shouldn't be on, and people not liaising. But it's sort of prime time now this time of year, and it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it is, and you know, there was great racing in Sydney on Saturday night for the 2 and 3 year olds. So, you know, they went 50 up there. The Colts and the 3-year-old fillies went 149 and 9. So yeah, the calendar is very congested from, you know, November right through to December.
If we had crowds, it's a great time to, you know, like if you wanted to take some owners to the trots to watch Breeders' Crown in the middle of August, you don't do it. But this time of year, you got a chance, haven't you?
Yeah, and I think everyone, you know, daylight saving is more time for people to be out and about. They're doing more things. It's kind of that festive type season leading into Christmas. So, I think the turnover was Victoria had the record turnover for the month of September. So, there really has been a lift by a large percentage in the interest in harness racing, and I think that is to do with the timing, the seasons, and probably too, with COVID, there's nothing much else to engage people, but the roll-on effect will be that they'll stay engaged because it's spring and summer and it's a great time to go to these things and to be a part of it all. So.
And that's the thing too, like it's traditionally, after this week in the thoroughbreds, it sort of gets a bit quieter. There's a real lull until you sort of get into the test match cricket, I guess is probably the best sport to mention in that area. But, we're coming into our prime time and against not a great deal of opposition from a punting perspective and a racing perspective. So it looks like, after what happened last year, with the Vic Bred and Breeders' Crown at this time of year, it's and the possibility of crowds, or definitely having crowds, it's going to be fantastic for the rest of the year.
Troy Harley said to us, Victoria Cup night at Bendigo was Bendigo Greyhound Heat night, and I believe there was about $16 million wagered on Lord's Raceway.
Across the two codes,
and potentially more. Nearly $10 million on the trots and 6 or just under 6 on the greyhounds, so which is just a phenomenal amount of money. So
that's a staggering handle, 10 million for harness racing. Crazy numbers, absolutely crazy.
And it's funny, isn't it? You've got to have these races at the premier tracks. It doesn't matter if the product's the right product, and put the right product on.
Yep, that's it. People are attracted to great horses, mate. Simple as that.
Might have been the lather up sign down the back straight.
Well, I think so. There was that, and the Derby sponsorship as well.
There was a water truck had a close encounter with that.
I was going to say that. I was in the caller's box and I heard that bang, and you asked me a bit later on. I said, well, I saw it. I nearly fell straight through the fence.
We almost had the camera on it. We were very unlucky, and I can guarantee the water truck driver is denying every bit of it, but there is a group of greyhound people that know exactly it did happen. It would have been tragic. He'd have gone through the outside fence just prior to the Victoria Cup and the races called off. It would have been catastrophic, but that's okay. It wasn't that bad, but he was pinging a few.
He was close. He was close.
He was pinging a few. I won't hold you guys up much longer. Myself and Daniel will wax on a little bit, but yearling sales, Kath, leading into or coming up very shortly. That's why I said this barn here. At the minute, it's a maternity ward. It's not all maternity. We better be careful there, but it's just your boxes that you look after for vets. But it fills up. This year is going to be a big juggle for you because you've got 4 sales to concentrate on, I think.
We do. We have horses going to Melbourne APG and Melbourne Nutrient, and also Sydney APG and Sydney Nutrient sales. So it's going to be just a double up of stud season and everything on top of it. But we're pretty excited. We've got a really good team, here on the farm, and we're set and geared, and we've got the numbers to kind of handle the workload going to the yearlings. We've already done a lot of work with the yearlings, so their handling and their education is right up there. They've been washed, they've been bitted, they've been on the walker, all that sort of thing. So that'll help our transition into the boxes and make our, handling them a lot easier. So we should be able to put the polish on them pretty quick.
Renee said there's no yearling videos this year. She said she didn't want to see me. She doesn't want to do any Renee. But you do a lot of that. We've done a virtual one. We've done a couple of live ones. Have you got something planned for this year?
We've got a few ideas. We'll need to work it out as we go because just the timing of everything. But definitely we'll be showcasing our products that we've got, and we've got some really nice horses to go to all the sales, trotters and pacers. So pretty proud of the draft that we've got coming up.
I can confidently tell you, she's the main person that keeps pushing me because she says, "Oh, you can do it," and then that's it. And I don't get a yes or a no. I just and I honestly say that a lot, but you do, and I really appreciate it because you do a very, very good job. But she'll come up with another harebrained idea. I tell her I might have something, and then from there she'll say, "Well, let's do this." And you always jump in as well. Like, it's not a worry. It's sort of fun because she's so I don't know. She lifts you a little bit, doesn't she?
Yeah. Look, we're happy to throw the data to the board anywhere, mate. You know that. So
as long as we can get over to Woodlands and do the same thing, Kath? We get over there next.
That's it.
Andrew sort of has. I don't drink, but he has a better bar. He has non-alcoholic beers as well, and he does put on. That might be a challenge, just to try and keep up with Andrew's.
There's nothing non-alcoholic here, Paul. We have staff members that start and say, "Oh, what do you drink?" "Oh, I don't drink." Give it a month.
All right, thank you guys. Myself and Daniel will wax on for a little bit longer, but thank you very much. Actually, hang on one sec. We better make sure. Dave McFadden did the 2019 New Zealand Cup Tour. Jared Maloney Cup Day is definitely the best standout cup he has been to. So Jared, another person who's very, very religious on anything that I do. So I much appreciate him. But I say thank you very much to you guys.
Thanks,
I'll let you go.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Daniel.
Well done. And next time, Kath, when I say I'm going to come, can you put in nice weather, please?
Yeah.
Hey, well, it's such a beautiful place. We could do it outside, but it's a little bit tricky, isn't it?
Do it for the photos and the yearlings.
Yeah. Anyway, stay tuned. There'll be some more stuff coming too with Kath McIntosh going forward. I've got the drone footage will be done a little bit better, and Woodlands will be doing more with the yearlings as well. So
see you on the road trip to Wagga, brother.
yes, we will be. Greg Gangle, be nervous. Be very, very nervous. Rightio, I've got to work out which microphones to kill here, but it'll be fine. I think. Which one's that one? Kath's has turned off. You can keep talking, Daniel, anytime you want. Which one's yours, Hughesy? Hughes is that long one. It says Hughesy's here.
I'm just watching the cat behind me, just worried that it's going to attack.
It'll be fine. The cat will be
keeping guard. It's keeping guard out the back.
Thank you very much, guys. Do you want me to lock up when I leave?
Turn the lights off.
Rightio, we'll let them two go, but thank you. Very good.
This is a remarkable place. I mean, I've only just driven in the driveway, driven up the road and come into here, but Fettingham, this is an unbelievable setup. It's immaculate, absolutely spotless. You got to come and have a look at this place if you haven't already. It's amazing.
She's done a great job too of being able to showcase what she's got. She does do a lot of it. I say that she does push me. She's awesome. She pushes a lot of people around her. She's very, very good for the sport. Mark Hughes, they back me. The Hilts, they're awesome as well. But there's always, I can tell you, there's always something happening here. It's never a quiet day. And she's even got a cat that's not quieter as well. So
very well trained. It's just keeping guard behind. Just before we go on, we didn't mention the name of the horse that I looked at, the Royalty. I was afraid to sort of stand in front of it. I thought I'd have to get back about 10 or 12 metres. It's Aston Villa for those at home.
And she belongs in out of the weather, doesn't she?
She does belong. Absolutely majestic-looking mare. Got the fright of my life when I saw the name tag.
So officially, Daniel walks up to one horse, and it's
Aston Villa.
And he hasn't gone and looked at the next one.
No, I didn't. I'm a bit too worried. I'm a bit worried to see who's down there.
She's got a complex. Right, Swan Hill Cup run and won the other day. How did we go with Malcolm? Did you get on this time?
Yeah. Well, it was. I mean, I had to really. I didn't have much choice because I'd sort of followed him the last 3-4 runs. I saw the video clip on Facebook with Josh talking about his drives over the last.
Wasn't very complimentary of his own drives.
Well, he's telling the truth. Yep. I mean, that's what you want. It hasn't been the greatest of steers, but it just the way the race panned out there on Friday night was, he looked like he was going to win the race about a half mile out. He just needed to get that good toe into the race, and as soon as they turned for home, he was close enough, and he had that sprint on him to get over the top. So well deserved. He deserved that win, and he backs up at Yarra Valley on Thursday
tomorrow.
And look, he's got to be a realistic chance in that as well.
It's actually a good field, and we'll get onto that in a sec. Swan Hill the other day was awesome. Must say well done to the club. One thing I didn't know, so up until this month now, they were giving $10 vouchers for all the participants to be able to have food and drink and everything else like that. Swan Hill have been doing that way before. They've actually been with COVID, where people can't get out, can't do anything. They've put that on for people. Best hamburgers ever. My wife went last week. She agrees. They're just so tasty. They do a great job. But the highlight for mine was the racing and how good the racing was there. Emma Stewart won 5 races, and you sort of didn't realise because each other race afterwards there was something going on. Woodlands, Human made a debut. It nearly got beat. It was the closest of theirs to nearly get beat. But they actually had a great night of racing. But the whole racing in general was competitive. The mile, you're looking it up for me now.
153.
Yeah, Lee Sutton won it.
Yes, all set for.
Thank you.
It was a good race. I know it's easy after the fact, but I mean Lochinvar Chief was favourite in that race, and I knew after its run at Shep earlier in the week that it was absolutely no chance. But it got backed in the market, and I thought it'll probably do the same thing it did at the top of the straight at Shep. which was stop, and it did, and then of course got run over the top. I did actually speak to Dave about that after that race at Shep. I said, what's going on with this horse? And I don't think he has an idea of what's going on either with it. But the stable got the win in the end anyway.
He gave us great insight at on Trot's Vision at Swan Hill, and I couldn't say it there because I'll get into trouble. But in play punters with Lochinvar Chief, the one thing he said, once a horse starts lifting his head and searching for his head, he's in trouble. He got to the winning post, just started searching for his head. He went another 400 metres, and that was it. It was all over. So he's
very frustrated. He raced at Shep on the what day of the week was that? I can't remember.
Tuesday.
And I called that meeting.
Yep.
And I spoke to him after
Wednesday. Yeah.
I spoke to him after the race, and he's mystified as to what actually went on. Still trying to work it out with the horse, and because he said he's got a couple like that. Pat's Beachstorm's the other one. He's still trying to get his head around what's going on with him as well. So, but that's the harness game, trying to get your horses right to race and to run well in the big races, and sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Absolutely. Yarra Valley tomorrow. I'm doing Trot's Vision, so tune in on Trot's Vision. We'll be there all night, all day. Some big gaps, so I'll try and do what I did at Swan Hill. We'll try and get some more of the participants with the Trotters. They've got the Trotters Cup, which is a really, really good field. I like the Trotters Cup as far as competitive, because I think there's a lot of horses going good. Kai Valley Chief was the one from memory. I saw it at nice enough odds in it. So, Night Whispers, Cyclone S. Adams, Jewel in the Crown, who went better the other day, but it's a step up in class. Then we go Brownlow Prince, Kai Valley Chief. CK Spur, how good did he go?
Yeah, good run the other night.
Confidence that you're all good, hey?
Yeah, exactly.
Robbie Royale is a horse we both love. Have Horse Will Travel, that was at Maryborough as well. And well defined, Dave Moran picks up the drive. That's a key change, I think, and nothing against Alan Tormey. He's been driven by a lady for a long time. Sel's got soft hands, but he can still get them to pick up. So it's an interesting driving change, that, I think. Yeah,
I think Sel's doing a great job in the cart at the moment. I was obviously doing a lot more freelance driving, as we've seen, but it's a tricky race. It's nothing in that race jumps out to you and says, I've got a mortgage on this race. It's a pretty even field, and look, maybe Andy and Kate's horse, Have Horse Will Travel, was a bit of a return to form there at Maryborough. Once it gets that winning form, it might be able to hold it, but it's a tricky cup, which is it should be a good competitive betting race, I would have thought.
Then 4:54, the second last, the United Petroleum Yarra Valley Pacing Cup. This is a tricky race because there's a lot of speed horses in this race, but they like to finish off at the end. There's not, for mine, a real strong going horse in front, so it could be all about positioning. General Dodge is your favourite, rightfully so, but Malcolm's Rhythm likes to finish off. Torrid Saints sat up can finish off. Boots Electric can finish off. Perfect Stride can, but although I don't think he's going as good as what he was. He was a bit plain, I thought, at Swan Hill. I thought he should have run second at least, if not challenged the winner if he was going as good as what he was.
It's an interesting race, probably because of the small field. They could go really hard for the first 400 metres
and
then walk for the next 2,000 metres until they get to the top of the straight, or the last, basically the last 400. Really hard race to work out. You'd think if they wanted to, they'd lead on General Dodge if he got out of the gate like we know he can. I don't think.
But after they drove him in the Geelong Cup, what do they do?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a tricky one. Certainly, Major Roll's probably got a good draw to be a threat from there. It's been in pretty good form of late, but you look at that field, and personally, I'd think you look at Malcolm's Rhythm, and it's pretty hard to knock him. The races he's been running in, the fact he's come back and won a good cup race. He's tough, he's fit, and nothing seems to worry him, even when he does run around without a driver. So, I think he's going to be hard to beat again.
I think Akey's happier when he has got a driver.
I think everyone's happy when he's got a driver on him.
Now, Saturday night, I didn't know that at Melton. See you, Kath. At Melton, St Arnaud Pacing Cup night. I actually didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that, but I did when I looked at the fields and did see that they've got that meeting down there. I mean, I'm not sure if they're still doing works.
Don't know.
At Lord Nelson Park. I'm not sure. I haven't been home enough to be locked down, of course, so it's a bit hard to...
Lord Nelson Park, I like that.
So I'm not sure what if they're still doing stuff there, but it's a good move. You're getting a $20,000 cup with a really good field of country cup class horses. And it's a really even race. You wouldn't say that there's another one of these races where there's an absolute moral in the field, which is good for a country cup. So looking forward to watching that on Saturday night.
Saturday night, and then Sunday is Maryborough with the next lot of the Breeders' Crowns. I'll be there for Trots Vision as well. I've got a double gig this week, so Yarra Valley and then Maryborough. Yep. If you like listening to one bloke talk to himself, it's generally me, so that's what you get. Right, let's go back to last Sunday though. Redwood Carnival. How good was it?
It was great. It was great racing, and I mean the Redwood. I mean, we mentioned last week he's clearly the best horse in this group of this season, of the 2-year-olds this year, and I think we saw that in the run. Like Kez obviously had a couple of issues early, just caught her getting around that first turn and finding a position. But once she got outside of Chris Lang's horse, it was going to be a battle between those two really, and just. The way he lengthens stride, like he doesn't look like a 2-year-old. He looks like a 4. And I did see that someone had written that he looked like a 4-year-old, and he does. He looks like a really mature, bigger horse, and he's just playing with them when you think about it.
There's a shot of him trotting, and it's like he's trotting from here to Bendigo. His stride, it's just massive.
Yeah, you get on that, you get on like a 45-degree angle as they come in the straight, and it's just that 20 metres and it just looks amazing. Doesn't look quite as good when he's sort of right in front of the winning post, but just the stride that he takes when he comes on that angle, it's amazing.
Andrea Gorman will tell me off. We forgot it. The Charlton clip, 7:30 tonight. It went around. Roxy Royale, they've had $12.50 each way. Neither of us know how it went. So
I can find out.
I could do it. You're right. There's no hassles there. Right. The Derby. Whoa.
What do you listen to the dogs for?
No,
what do you listen to Ron?
I was listening to the Sky Channel.
Oh.
Actually, to be honest, that's Melbourne Cup time. Maybe I can't get it quicker than you. I can't get out of that screen. So, yeah, no, I've got to ID mine, so you can...
I'll have a look.
You can do that. But the Derby as well, they've got to have more distance racing. It brings up so many more connotations, but well done to Brent Lilly. Had a huge, huge carnival, culminating in Kai Valley... what's his name? High-low. His name's escaped me.
Kylie
Hotspur, that's it. High-low. I always got the wrong one. But
Roxy Royale ran second, by the way.
It ran second. They've had $12.50 each way.
They're not even going to get that back.
Aldebaran Zeus was terrific, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Chris had the hand up because he knew the other horse was going to give him, because it's over the 2100. Chris probably
different race,
They probably walk a little bit. The two of them run away the way it was. I know they still ran first, second, but just for a better race for mine.
They broke the track record, which was it's a fairly it's a big thing in a big race like that. And I mean, they don't run enough of those distance races for the 3-year-olds anyway. But I think some of them probably didn't quite back up as well. There's a few that did make mistakes. Obviously, got a bit tired late on in the race, and you just like to see a few more of the longer distance races programmed, just to give them the opportunity to run at that prior to the Derby, and you might get a bit more of a not closer finish, but a more of them sort of being stronger to the line than what we saw on Sunday.
I think, and it's different. I spoke to Anton Galino Monday. He wasn't disappointed he was disappointed. He wasn't upset that they galloped. He said, he was pretty honest actually. He said he's got to change how he goes to it, but whether they could put some more standing starts on. There was standing starts leading into it, but that was a week before, and they were $7,000 races, and a lot of these horses have won 2 and 3 races, so they're coming off big handicaps. Get to the Redwood, they're back off the front. So whether they can just change it up. They used to have the stall race, the Murray's Eye.
Mary Legend,
but it's now a short distance mile race or a mobile race. So that's sort of changed it altogether. It was years ago they had that, so they've changed that as well. So
I think we obviously with the move to this January, December calendar, there's still some things that need to be tweaked out, and as was mentioned, it could be 3 or 4 years before we can get a fuller picture on everything from the breeding side of thing to the racing side of thing. And there's always going to be the little things that can get tweaked, and you'd like to think that there'll be A few couple of changes with regards to the trotters races, stands for the 2-year-olds, distance races for the 3-year-olds, just to tweak it up a bit as we move forward.
Maybe a stand or two for the paces.
Yeah, well, thoughts and prayers.
Ran second in the Sunday Cup when it was a stand. Got beat that much.
When was that?
Anthony Crosland beat me. I can't think of the name. It was a couple of years ago. Dual Agent Tabman. So yeah, it was many moons. It was very, very close.
A little while ago. Yeah.
It was a standing start race. Then rightio, pretty much a wrap. Declan Murphy, Ballarat. Great to see. First drive, first win.
It was better for me because it was my second winner in the charity challenge, I was quite pleased that won. I had no idea that Declan was driving it when I tipped it. I actually just looked at the form. I saw that Murph trained it, and I thought, well, assuming that he was driving it, but it wasn't until
the old D Murphy.
And I sort of when I saw it, I thought, okay, that's fine. And look, he drove it a treat. Like he knew what he had underneath him, and he just bided his time. It wasn't they didn't go ridiculously hard up front, but there was enough speed for him to come down the outside. And when he pulled out at about the 250, I thought, I'm a chance here. And it was good to get some money in the bank, but I ended up losing badly for the month.
We'll catch up with him at some stage. I might do one of these, or we might even get him on loose lines and go from there. Pogger, we're going to get Pogger on to say, because I forget, was it 10,000 or how much, or they raised, or some ridiculous figure.
It was a lot. I'm not sure exactly the full figure was. It was an amazing month.
Yep. Well done to him. Well done to everyone who got involved. Fair bit of chipper and chirp. Jason Bonington, he's copping it for left, right.
Well, he probably is regretting that he didn't win.
Didn't win. He ran last.
No, but he tipped the horse on Saturday night in the Len Smith Mile. He said the Black Prince will win the Len Smith Mile, and of course he didn't put it in as his tip. It's paid $91 or dear enough. That winner alone probably would have won him the whole thing. He
was 5,000 in the hole. He wouldn't have got. He would have got out of the hole.
Well, I think it would have been. It would have. No, only. I think it was $4,000. I think won it. So he would have been. It would have been the last couple of. The last day would have been a very more interesting one.
If he got on a golden punt or something like that,
if you'd have done a golden punt, it was all over Red Rover. But it was.
And I've had a couple of people say it to me. The reality, they say, how can our leading tipster be running last in this? It's one better day. If you don't get one better day wrong, you're kidding yourself.
I mean, it's a tricky concept. That's why it's a challenge. You can tip $1.90 favourites or $1.50 favourites and go, small fish for the week, for the month. But you do have to try and find that bit of value. And that really, if you can find one 20-1 pop for the month, it gives you, particularly early on, it gives you an opportunity to build a bit of a base. If you're sitting on a $2,000, $3,000 profit week one, you can play a bit more conservative. But when you're 1,500 or 2,000 in the hole, well, then you're looking for the 30-1 pops to get you out of it, and it doesn't quite work like that.
Talk about Bonners. I think it was. I know it was belittled. He actually said I should be tipping belittled. But he tipped the horse that ran second. He said, I'll play it safe and tip the horse that ran second, which was $7. B Little paid $23. So, he still might have had it there. So I think well done to Pog, and we'll definitely get him on. I think that was great. Don't know if you watched the Meadowlands, the Breeders' Crown over the weekend. I encourage anyone that's on Facebook, likes their harness racing and likes the way they go about it, to either follow on YouTube. You can follow Costa TV. Which is a great channel, but also the Meadowlands Raceway, I think they are on Facebook. You will not get every race meeting, but their feature meetings, they put them onto Facebook. The coverage is sensational. They go into the stalls, they go out, get on there and watch it. I ran my battery flat about 3 times. I had to sit in the car and just let it charge up. So
you're getting in a lot of ideas for Trots Vision then, by the sounds of it.
No, Campbell's comments actually.
Oh, for you?
Campbell's comments. Right. I think. Personally, I think Facebook and YouTube are the way to go, because you get it out to a broader audience. You can get it out worldwide audience. So that's why I think that's the way to go, personally. So I really did enjoy that. Melbourne Cup, how did you go to the Melbourne Cup?
Well, I got to watch.
Good, did you?
No, well, I didn't really have an investment. I'm in the bad books at home, actually, to be fair. I put my phone on the charger in the box at Yarra Valley yesterday because it was going a bit flat throughout the course of the day because you're using it all the time for totes and all that sort of stuff. And Suze had sent me a message about 2:30, but I'd put my phone on the charger at about that time.
Didn't see the
And
message.
she sent me a message. She said, "Oh, I want to have a bet in the cup." And of course, I didn't see it. And then the next message was at about 3:10. It wasn't real pleasant because she'd actually picked Very Elegant, and So, and I actually watched that race and knew she was going to win the race about 600 metres out. There was when they're coming around the corner, they got the angle of. She was just bolting, and it was just. And as soon as they turned home, I saw Incentivise just sort of twisted his head a little bit, and I thought, well, he's in a lot of trouble here. Amazing race, and the reason, and probably the reason I didn't tip her was I was a bit worried about the track. I thought it might have been a bit too firm for her, but in hindsight, and it's a wonderful thing, hindsight, absolutely love it. She was the best horse in that race by a very long way. When you think how poor
paid Hughes
and paid Hughes
10-time Group 1 winner. Well,
exactly,
but exactly 9 times.
Exactly. When you look at that and you think, and she's racing against horses that struggle to beat the ambulance. No. You feel like an idiot, but that's what punting's like.
With the New Zealanders, Mufasa Metro ran third in the Derby and went very, very good. The
He
home
did,
field winner,
yeah.
Alex Hurley, really hit the line well. She is right. Punt on Mildura in the punt challenge. And you are a chance of getting big odds winner anywhere. Jared Maloney, you get big winners anywhere with Mildura. I think, unfortunately, for the Mildura guys, they had a bad night last night. I believe the last was run at 11.
I think it was run this morning, actually. It was a bit late.
Yeah, they had a few issues by the sounds. I saw that this morning. So it was great to see Brett Carroll. He turned around and wished everyone a safe trip home. I think they're the little things that people see it and they're like, well, at least someone's watching and someone cares. So.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, these 12 race programs that, and we're sort of, we're at the mercy of Sky Channel a lot of time with these race meetings to sort of find times and, 12 race cards, particularly at Mildura. I know it's back. The 12 race cards at Mildura do make it hard to, particularly if you're starting at 6 and it's half an hour between races, you're not going to finish before 11. So it makes it a long day. And I mean, yesterday for me, it was only 8 races, but there was an extra hour
in
the middle. First race was 10:30, last was at 3:30. I mean, it was a nearly 11, 12-hour day for me, and I wasn't.
How would you have been doing Kaikoura? 16 races, and there was some.
Well,
some fields were 14.
I did 22. I did do 22 races the other day, mind you. The race
fields.
But only 30-second races too. It's a lot easier. But the travel component, we sometimes forget that travel component for the guys, and if you like last night, 11:40 the last race. And a lot of those guys, if they're not local, you're 3 hours away.
Who are you kidding? If you're not local, you're 4 hours away. I suppose Charlton's 3 hours.
3, yeah. But it's a long way away, and and then you've got to be up at 5 to feed up. So
Cat gets me on.
We could get cut off very shortly here, and it's not going to be through any fault of ours.
Might bite the electric cord or something. It really, really will. All right, that's a bit of a wrap.
It's still raining here too.
It's about to come down again.
And it hasn't stopped.
Nothing else for you for the week?
I'm off to Bendigo Saturday morning for the dogs.
Got called off tonight.
I got called off tonight,
He'll be happy.
Last three got called off.
He actually was hit by a storm. The storms hit last week in Bendigo. We lost a branch that was from me to you. That's about the only thing I found on the ground. He had one go through some of his kenneling block and his fences got wiped out. I don't think he's keen on these storms at the minute, T. Harley.
So Bendigo Saturday and then Cobram Trots on Monday. So
and no crowds at Cobram Trots, you're saying?
No crowds at Cobram Trots. We put that out on Facebook earlier in the day. There was a couple of inquiries about it. Obviously with the change that we can have crowds from Saturday. Looks like they'll have crowds at Melton on Saturday. People just have to understand the logistics involved in it at this early stage. Like yes, we're back to seeing crowds, but there's still a lot of hurdles you've got to go through to have crowds. But we anticipate that when we get to the December meeting, Christmas meeting in December, we'll be right to go. The rules will be a bit more relaxed, and we'll be full on to have a good crowd there for a Christmas meeting, which is something we don't normally have. We normally have it between. We've traditionally had Cup Day between Christmas and New Year. It's obviously moved back a little bit now, but looking forward to having a pre-Christmas meeting at Cobram this year.
So your cup meeting is traditionally about the 3rd, 4th of January?
9th. It'll be the 9th, I think
gone
it
back
is.
another week.
It's at first.
Has Benio Cup gone back with it?
Not sure. I haven't looked up. We didn't get the date till really late, so yeah.
No, it'll be interesting. Rightio, that's about us for a wrap. I must say, huge thank you to Mark Hughes. He came down from Melbourne today to be here, but I mean, it's about promoting everything. So Woodlands are great supporters of mine. Kath McIntosh here from Llowalong Farms as well, letting us do it here in the shed. It is very, very dark. I'll actually show you very quickly how dark it is. Although it doesn't look that bad on that camera. We can't see there, I suppose, because we've got the lights, and it is fairly still teeming. I'm not sure if the old boy, I think that might be him right there. We'll just see. Yeah, that's.
Is he hiding again?
He's got another one of those trees. No, that's a tree.
That's a tree.
Yeah, no, that's definitely.
That's a tree, Paul.
That's definitely a tree. So no,
that's another tree, Paul.
I reckon he's gone into his box.
He's gone in the box.
Yeah. I don't blame him because it is definitely teeming down here. But I must say a big thank you to those. Thank you to all my sponsors, Harass Trotters, Nutrient sales are coming up. As I said, there'll be lots coming on from here. With the Nutrient sale, I've got to do. There's ready to runs. We'll be promoting them. They're being conducted this week at trial meetings, so across New South Wales. There'll be 2 here at Shepparton. When do you trial at Shep?
Thursday,
so tomorrow night.
Yep.
So tomorrow night there'll be 2 horses going around there, and we'll be catching up with everyone. We'll have all their times, we'll have the replays, so I'll be doing that early next week. So that'll be key. I'm going to be at Yarra Valley tomorrow morning.
Good luck.
And I'll be at Maryborough on Sunday. They have lost this meeting before. I believe it was a meeting. No, they lost the grass a couple of years ago. They were going to have those 2 grass track races. That's why I was there for HRV, because they were going to have the 2 grass track races. We're going to be down at the starts to see how they all handle the grass. And unfortunately,
at Yarra Valley, that's right.
They put them onto the sand.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
and that was the same meeting. So
I think it was too wet, wasn't it? Was it?
Yeah, it was
that's right.
And it was.
Yeah,
we couldn't walk across it. I don't think you'll be walking across it tomorrow either.
I mean, be swimming, but the way it's looking.
All right, thank you very much. This has been On Loose Lines. This is a wrap. Thanks for making the effort, mate. And anyone wants to promote their product, yearlings, horses going through Wednesday night while it's summer, we can get out and about, please feel free. Myself and Daniel are more than happy to. He won't travel too far. I'll travel as far as I can, so it'll be all good. Thank you very much.
See ya.